What's going on, guys? It's Chef. I don't know, man. Xbox tweeted about a couple hours ago. I was awake when it happened, but I went back to sleep. Everybody is like imploding and freaking out about every single thing and every single detail in this entire thing. It's a big deal, don't get me wrong, but I went back to sleep. Whatever, man. I don't give a fuck about any of these goddamn deals until I actually see something change in my games that I play. Otherwise, I don't give a fuck. But let's go into it anyway, since there's literally nothing else to talk about. And so, as you guys know, obviously, Activision has been Call of Duty's owner or whatever the fuck, you know, we've seen that forever, literally. We've had over the years where we've had like these exclusivity deals where like, you know, Xbox will pay Activision a certain amount of money, and then PlayStation will pay Activision a certain amount of money, and then they go back and forth with their talks and stuff like that, and they get exclusivity deals for a certain amount of years. And usually to get those little quirks and stuff like that, all that other shit, that's the console wars, right? Over on PC, I used to make the majority of my content on my channel still out of like the 2,000 plus videos. Still, the majority of them are not on PC. Those are all on console, and likely on the exclusivity console of that year for that particular Call of Duty. I've gone from PlayStation to Xbox to PlayStation again to looking like potentially Xbox. I don't know. And this isn't like a PC flex or anything, just like, you know, talking about how it's like conditioned in our head over the years. It's quite different now though, because it turns out that Xbox themselves, instead of just paying for a deal with them, they literally bought them for around $70 billion. Their tweet says, "Today is a historic moment. We are excited to announce that the world-renowned franchises and talented people at Activision Blizzard will be joining Team Xbox. Full announcement details here." Now, what if it turns into this war, though? They bought them for a certain sum of money, right? What if it becomes this thing where they start just buying it back and forth from each other? Nah, I doubt that. I doubt it. What if that means, though, it's a possibility that maybe games that they already own, they could potentially sell back and forth to each other? That means that they acquired Overwatch, Diablo, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Candy Crush, StarCraft, all of the studios that make it, Treyarch, Raven, High Moon, Phoenix, Sledgehammer, Infinity War, Demonware, Toys for Bob. What is up with this SBMM that I'm getting right now? What the fuck is going on? Welcoming the incredible teams and legendary franchises of Activision Blizzard to Microsoft Gaming. So a lot of people are thinking that means that things like Call of Duty and all of these other games realistically could come to like the Xbox Game Pass. I don't use the Game Pass, so I don't necessarily know, but I'd assume that's a good thing for everybody. It makes things like more accessible and stuff like that. Things are gonna get shaken up. The studios will, maybe they can get the QA testers back and people can get paid, and culture in the whole place and the work environment and all that shit can change. That's like, you know, the idealized version of everything in the way that it could go, right? You would hope that potentially doing this move, you know, the culture within the companies and stuff like that could change and become healthier for all the people working in it, so we can actually get better games. The reality could be that it literally doesn't change anything and we really won't notice any difference at all. Like, if I want to be like really pessimistic about it, but to ignore it would be over opportunistic, I would say. I've been hearing people say things like, "Oh man, Call of Duty's in the worst state that it's ever been in all time." I'm sorry, but I'm still gonna have to hit them with the year of Infinite Warfare / Modern Warfare Remastered. That for sure was the worst year for Call of Duty all time. For the players, for the content creators, for any streamers, for any of it. It was the worst state it has ever been in. Everyone just got used to looking at the numbers when everyone was stuck inside. This is not the worst state Call of Duty has ever been in. Although, I mean, unless you specifically want to, you know, concentrate on the sale numbers and stuff like that, although it's still number one, it's the lowest selling in like 14 years or some shit like that, which is definitely a notable thing. When it's still number one in the past 14 years, it's hard to still say that that is a bad position. I don't know how else to explain that. My main thing is that I hope that somehow within the company there is some sort of, maybe with more money injected, or just somehow the way that things are structured within the company now for all of the games, even shit, World of Warcraft included, Diablo, also could mean a lot of good things and a lot more money available for the CDL, the Professional Call of Duty League, where, for example, Halo competitively for Halo Infinite is a massive rise in success in comparison to what Halo has been for the past, what, 10 years? It is noticeably better. Higher quality setups, higher quality tournament things and structure, and a league in general. That could happen for Call of Duty, because Call of Duty has always had like such a stupid amount of money pumped into it competitively, and they just didn't know what to do with it. It was very, very strange. The biggest thing is that this is a change, and could I imagine it's a change for worse? Yes. But I think it's more likely that it'll be a positive step I think. Xbox Phil Spencer to Bloomberg, I'll just say to players out there who are playing Activision Blizzard games on Sony's platform, it is not our intent to pull communities away from that platform, and we remain committed to that. Yeah, played in the long game. I mean, that's cool and all and interesting for the console wars, I guess, but ultimately we all know that we just want to be able to play with each other, and we would like to do it in the most accessible, likely cheapest, and highest quality possible all in one. That's not outlandish to say. Ultimately, crossplay has completely killed the console wars, in my opinion, or at least has called it. Today, it'll probably be at an all-time, you know, discussion where nobody learns anything and nobody is better for arguing about what fucking console is sitting in their goddamn living room. Apparently, this doesn't really come into effect until mid-2023. That would mean the next Call of Duty that we get that would be fully developed under this new structure anyway would be the next Treyarch game. Who knows what this could mean for the other games too? I mean, anyone that plays World of Warcraft and shit like that, WoW has been in the gutter for quite some time. Alexis plays World of Warcraft a shit ton, so it could be a good thing for them as well. A Minecraft Call of Duty crossover. Oh, wait. Oh, I just realized they could actually do all of that. Oh, God. I mean, fuck it. Whatever, man. There's some people that are on the side of, like, this is a good thing, this is a bad thing, and whatever. I mean, I think change is good in this scenario, for sure. Considering it's been just, like, this perpetual thing where we've just... I quite literally made a career out of how badly they did things, so. Obviously, that still means the studios that are responsible for some of the worst, they're still there, obviously, but, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe they'd be able to come up with better ideas and business practices and shit. I don't know. We can hope that this is good. I don't want to be overly positive or overly negative on it because it really could go any way. Seriously. This could either go really badly or might signify actually the start of change at that point, but we're not really gonna know anything about it until it starts taking effect and we actually start seeing the obvious effects of it. Within the business, I'm sure people are seeing immediate things. I wonder how long they've been talking about this. Multiple lawyers and analysts believe that this Microsoft and Activision buyout will be a heated debate between Congress and DOJ and Microsoft over monopolizing the industry. Unclear how this will play out. Okay, I mean, whatever. David Vonderhaar, the man that is responsible for single-handedly crushing BO2, but also is still very beloved and still very connected to the franchise, at least. He says, well, now I'm gonna have to buy an Xbox. Or no, you could just stay on your PC. That would be the ideal scenario at the very least. Put Call of Duty on Xbox Game Pass, or like just Game Pass in general, so that makes anyone that's got Xbox or PC could just play it for free. Then again, that makes it so PlayStation has to pay for, oh man. Obviously, other people are gonna figure that out, but hopefully they do it with us in mind. That's a whole lot of money. Like, I don't really care about the Xbox versus PlayStation bullshit. Like, I want people to be able to play together as easily as possible. I want the games to be as cheap as possible and for everybody to be able to play. I want it to be as accessible as possible. More people into gaming. That was tough for those guys, sheesh. The amount of dogs that were called in that game, I was hoping for that amount of dogs when I was looking to get that Panzer done. People are asking if maybe we'll get a ranked playlist now. The Activision Blizzard deal with Xbox good for gaming in your eyes? I don't fucking know. I feel like most people will just say, I don't know. Unless there's people just console war voting and they're just like on Xbox or some shit and they're like, fuck yeah, it's good, without like thinking of like potential consequence. 37% says yes, 31% says no, 31.7% are not sure. Minecraft Zombies and Call of Duty Zombies crossover? Not a bad idea, Hope. Game Pass seems to be the biggest thing in my eyes when I'm looking at this. I don't know. I have no idea if this could be a good or a bad thing, but it's different from the direction that it was going. It was basically going off of a cliff, right? So now we just need to figure out, are we going down that cliff into a pit of fucking fire? Or are we going to somehow be saved and manage to stop falling? I don't really know because I can't just say, hey, I can't say for sure that this is gonna change anything at all. Seriously, it might not change anything much at all. Other than people on the console war side of this whole thing, overall quality of the games, overall like treatment of employees, overall pay, overall QAing and all this other shit, that could just not change at all. Like, I hope it does. I really do. I hope it gets better, but I'm afraid of being too optimistic, but I also don't want to be too pessimistic, so yeah, my answer is just, I don't know. Oh yeah, and I'm not doing God of War Part 2, motherfucker. I literally did the game. They're like, bro, more God of War. There's nothing left! It's done! Fuck!